No, it had a rack on it that required like a certain amount of int, and I didn't have that.
Rack
so.
attack.
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah.
We back?
No.
Hour 2.
No, we're not back yet. No. No.
You didn't give me the thumbs down, man. It's too late.
Well, I actually got up and walked away as you said something. So
yeah, and then as soon as you sat back down, I was like, okay, we're good. Here we go.
Whatever. That's cool. I'm just gonna ignore you for a minute.
That's fine. We can wait.
You
don't need the stats. I'm about to RP them down.
No. This is the PHP. So,
okay.
Yeah, because I'm old school. PDFs. PDFs.
The books are easier. I honest to God think books are way easier to navigate than PDFs.
Yeah, and you can put like bookmarks in them and stuff. It's easier. I don't know.
That one, that would be for ritual only, and it requires a higher int or whiz. And the other one doesn't have any requirements at all, but it's not quite the theme and whatnot. So, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Ooh. All right.
No idea. All right, we back though. Let's do this.
So, you have the eagle eye. What's his name? I'm sorry, I have to say his correct name here. You have eagle eye, feather face, beak bottom.
We don't have a name.
No, he's eagle eye, feather face, beak bottom because Gromit named him, and that's totally what Gromit would name him. So eagle eye, feather face, beak bottom is flying around looking for things, and all of a sudden you get the good. I can't do eagle screeches. Can somebody here do an eagle screech? Ah! Oh, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
Listen, I do animal noises all the time for my daughter as she's like pointing at stuff inside of a book. But some of the animals, I'm just kind of like, I just can't do that one. You know, like I'm sorry, can't do it. So it gives out like a good screech, giving you guys a nice big heads up before they come out. But that doesn't change the fact that they're able to move very quickly, very swiftly into range for you guys to see them and everything. So that being said, we're going to do a quick boom.
This is not going to go well.
Boom.
Because like
They
trying
are
to be
here.
diplomatic with angry orcs, it's just not going to go.
Yeah,
well.
it's not gonna go
But
well.
I'm ready to try.
Trying to be diplomatic with angry orcs. Oh, that's not fun. That didn't go well.
I'm looking for a particular name. There it is.
What is all this blood?
Okay, there we go. And we have this one. And
Yeah, what's up
more you.
with just blood splatter? What the hell is that?
Where's blood
All of a
splatter?
sudden, there's blood.
Are those like red?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
ghosts?
color coded the orcs. Sorry,
Oh.
they all actually look like. My apologies. Let me explain myself for you guys because we're not actually in combat. This is actually what they're looking like. This is the artwork I'm using for all of them. However, I put tints on the characters so that when I do their initiatives, it's easier for me to keep track of them.
They just look like
My
blood golems.
apologies.
Well,
for
that's
why it is that they
first
look
of
like
all,
that.
that's very presumptuous to assume you're going to need initiative at all.
Well, I as a DM want to make sure it's seamless for my PCs, but we are finding seams as we discuss it as opposed to do it. So
I will be amazed if we find a way to talk our ways out of this because we have
Listen,
yet.
orcs
to do
don't
that.
aren't diplomatic. It's just going to be a series of threats back and forth until.
The one time we tried this, we got charmed by some crazy Fey chick. And
Listen, Fays are way more complicated than orcs. All right.
okay, so Thonk is standing there. Maggie, just so it's easier. I mean, I know you can see somewhat anyways because of your bird, but I don't know if you cared to go this way so you could see more, or are you happy with where you were?
I'm happy with where I am.
Okay. So all of a sudden they come swiftly rushing up and making their way there. And as they do that, Thonk, you see
They
that
fire
this happening.
arrows. Thunk, 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 thunk. Just dead.
You hear one of the people is specifically, and I'm going to ping you to it so you can see. This one right here,
Ooh,
as
all
I
right.
move him.
She runs.
This one right here
Uh-huh.
gets is the one that calls out orders as they're getting closer and closer, and they just fan out and go into this direction where they're kind of like surrounding you guys, so you would not be able to easily come back down and out of that area. You can see that as they're doing this, no, you won't be able to see that. Never mind, it's too far away. So as they're doing this, as they're making their way over and fanning their way out, and everybody's kind of getting into like their battle-ready positions, they're looking up at you guys, and they're kind of like judging the situation. And then both of the two that are hanging out right here are having a quick conversation between the two of them. The larger of the two, the one on the left, is kind of like has his axe at the bear, and he's kind of like telling a joke to the other one and like laughing. And he's like testing his swinging arm, getting ready. The other one's like giving him gestures or whatever commands, just kind of like shut the fuck up for a second. And he actually calls out to you and says, "May the Watcher watch over you. May those who come to bear fall before you, and may you drink upon the blood of your enemies."
I will return in a similar fashion and raise my arm. not gonna let go of my weapon. It's not sheathed, but it's also much like when I approach them. It's in a not being held in a non-threatening manner, and again, prominently showing the mark on my chest as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take a step down. I'll take one step down.
Sure. So as you go over, prominently showing your chest, kind of being like,
yeah, just like that. I'm rubbing it with
like
one finger.
scratching it. He's got like his spear, and he's like scratching at the spear, like, "Hi guys, what's up?" You know, it's just itchy. It's just healing. You know, it's scarring. You know. So as you do that, I'm gonna see if whether or not they can actually see what it is that you're doing, and so I'll roll.
They do not. They definitely do not at all.
What?
None of them
Wow.
see anything.
Wow, that's funny. That was for the first one was for the first leader, the second one was for the second leader, and the third one for the minions. And there you go. They don't seem to notice your mark, and so he calls out to you.
But I return. I
note of
return
that.
it as well. So.
They taking no notes of the mark. They call out to you and say, "You are between us and the will of Grumsh."
You make rather aggressive assumptions of his will, then.
The will of my chieftain is the will of Grumsh, and my chieftain has willed a task and has set me upon it. He says in like seemingly well spoken for an orc. Usually even leaders, they kind of like scratch my nuts and move on. But he actually seems to be rather well spoken.
I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing a name. So Thonk will your chieftain has sent you on a mission to assassinate a helpless child, not the will of Grumsh, the will of Shargas.
And when you say that, kind of like the ranks of the other orcs in the area, they kind of like, you know, uncomfortable for a second as you say that and look over towards their leader, almost like it's one of those like what is it, tennis match of insults. And so he when you say that, he actually draws his weapon and says, "Still your tongue, blasphemer. It is not the will of Shargas. This is someone who poses ill to the will of Grumsh and the conquering of all orc."
I'll take another step forward, kind of getting aggressive a little bit, and say, if a child threatens your chieftain, then perhaps your chieftain should step down and let somebody else lead you.
And when you say that, once again, kind of like, actually do me a favor, roll me a persuasion check.
Oh Lord, that's
Please
Roll me
and
a
thank
burn
you.
check, dude. 'Cause
Burn! Oh, why don't you have what is it? The licking wounds or what's
Roll me
vicious
that,
mockery?
roll
Why
me
don't you
that
have vicious
aloe
mockery?
vera check real quick.
Oh,
Fuck. Persuasion. No, I'm trained in persuasion, actually. That's actually not bad. Fuck it, I'll use my inspiration and roll with advantage on that.
you guys haven't used your inspiration in like ages.
I know, so
It's
I'm
like got
gonna do it.
mold on it.
Try. I fucking tried. I burned my inspiration for a
Thunk is
7.
appropriately inspiring, just as Otto is appropriately perceptive. So,
That's unfortunate.
thank you, gods of Roll20, for making this fall properly in place. So you say that, and there
Such
is
a
a
good
little bit of-
line.
There's a
Yeah.
little bit of murmuring of what you said amongst the just kind of peons that are here. However, he is not very happy with your retorts that you're saying, and he's like, "Let us kill this blasphemer and have the will be done," and just kind of like gestures like onward and march.
With that, I'll step forward again and just say, leave your pathetic leave your cowardice minions behind and face me one-on-one. The true will of Grummish will be displayed thereafter.
I will handle that in one moment. Meanwhile,
You're
Ramen
facing
and
one on
Thonk.
one?
Yeah.
I would have said something like, put forth your best warrior and
Yeah,
we'll
dude.
one on one.
My
Yeah.
pride gets the better of me.
Also, like, I like how they
and
haven't
Thonk, roll your
noticed
initiative.
They haven't noticed like the 7-foot fucking ripped orc behind you as well.
They have
I
numbers
move
on us.
forward and I'm like, kind of like being his guard behind him.
You want my initiative, you said?
Please and thank you.
10.
And Grauman's initiative as well, just so I have them in the order, and then I'll handle that in 1 second. Oh man,
Totally makes sense.
I can't wait to watch just
This is
Thonk die.
this is like, yeah, well, that's fine. If I die, I die.
Oh,
Wow,
Maggie!
what a beautiful roll.
Okay, so you say that, and he actually seems like stiff-backed as you say that. And actually, there's a moment, and Maggie, I'll explain this. I'll give you a second. I'll give it to you in 1 second. As you say that to him, immediately the guy with the big great axe kind of like he kind of like laughs and starts taking a few steps forward, like, oh, I'm gonna go take care of this pissant, and starts moving forward. But immediately the one that has a sword, he looks at him and says like a cuss at him and says stand down, like an insulting order at the other orc. And the guy looks at him like with like, what? And he's like, I am giving you the order to stand down. He is called for me.
Yes.
And looks at you hungrily.
This is how Thonk dies, but that's okay. Let's do it.
However, while that's all happening, Grommen, who is fully capable of understanding everything that just transpired, both sides, because you understand Orcish and you know the culture, you got a 23 in your initiative and a natural 20. Maggie, you are welcome to act before, like while those two are having their quick little squabble. If you choose to, you may do something now. If you choose not to,
Oh man. Part of me wants to just chug one of those potions and go ham on these guys.
Fuck yeah. Dude, you should fucking call out the other big guy and just fucking one-on-one him.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No. I'm gonna come out in front of him and say, no, Thonk. You know fight. I will fight, but I fight him. And I point at like the one that looks the most badass out of all of them.
So you're saying that and saying, but I fight him, and gesturing towards this one right here. Immediately as you're doing this, it's like, no, Thonk, you fight, I fight. And as you say that, you can see that this guy, the seeming leader of them, I just pointed at my screen like you can see. This guy, he's looking at, gives Thonk this looks like we both got insubordinate little that means to me.
Yeah.
But then you say that, and immediately as you say that, before this guy could even react, the guy that you had gestured toward immediately charges forward at Grommen, brandishing his great axe, and immediately charges at Grommen. Now, while that does happen, Grommen does have initiative, and so Grommen may choose to go forward. Now, to explain this over the other two PCs, it looks like Grommen and this guy are going to have one-on-one, and potentially Thonk and the other guy can have one-on-one. You guys could potentially hang back there like a couple of, spectators. That's the word I'm going to use, spectators. And just kind of like let it play out, or you could choose to do what you would like. However, Grommen, this guy comes charging at you as fast as he can. Grommen's axe is already ready, and you can actually meet his charge with your turn if you choose to do so. I imagine you do.
Part of me is like, should I chug the drink first?
It's your turn. You get to use your action however you deem worthy.
Chug the drink and then rush forward.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Would the drink take my whole turn?
It is your action to drink a potion. Yes, ma'am.
Just swing at him.
All right.
That's my suggestion.
I'm gonna go enraged, and
I'm gonna rage drink this potion so hard.
I'm gonna rage drink this potion so hard.
I just start chewing on the glass.
And I'm gonna drag my axe and run forward and
I'm rolling that one.
Oh,
Damn,
you should have drank the potion.
Can I use my inspiration?
Oh god. Oh man. Okay.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, but I get a one. I get to roll 1d4.
Yeah, there you go.
1d4.
That's still like pretty good despite it being a roll of 1, you know?
Yeah, it is.
But I get a 1d4. I get a 1d4.
Yeah.
It's not a fail. It's not a fail. I got this. So it's 11.
It's a mess, Maggie.
Okay. That's okay.
It's a hard mess. So yeah. So he comes rushing forward. He's like, "Ah!" You're like, "Ah!" But you didn't actually expect him to come forward as quickly as he does. Usually, that's your tactic. But he's clearly using.
It's like parallel universe
your
Thonk and
tactic.
Grommen.
Yeah. So he's coming, rushing at you and attacking. So after Grommen's turn, again, assuming nobody else does anything, and the others standing down because they were more or less given the order to stand down. This guy, not to be listening to this like follower of his, he's actually going to rush forward to over here and call Thonk out and be like, "Let's go and do this." Like,
Here we go.
Pauses his sword at the ready. He gets prepared.
Orcish
And just
pride.
because you can't hold your turn in 5e, he's actually going to use the dodge or defense mode to make it so you have a hard time hitting him on your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Should I add the +2 armor on my character sheet, or is that something you're just gonna mentally keep in mind?
I will mentally keep it. All you guys have a +2 AC.
Okay.
So like, what is it? Gromit has a 19. You have I think a 16. Otto has a 17, and Rye has a 15 currently. All right. So that being said, it's actually Thunk's turn as that guy goes rushing forward and calls you out.
Orcish pride is gonna get the better of me, man. I can't help it.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be great.
I'm just gonna go down. Is basically what's gonna end up happening.
I'm
That's
hoping
fine.
in 2
Thunk's gonna
hits.
die for the babies.
And 2 hits? That's not very nice. All right, I'm gonna actually just go ahead and swing with my blood spear on the first go here. So let's do that. 13, and I get an extra D4.
You're gonna need it.
3 more, so that's 16. Do I miss?
He's
Because
he's
defensive?
wearing chainmail, is bearing a shield,
Oh, okay,
and
so
he has
he's
a
got-
long sword in his hand. I'm sorry, sir, but you miss.
That's fine.
Basically, you need like 18 or more.
We'll see what
to
happens.
Scratch anything.
With your +4, you got it, buddy. You go get him. Go get him.
Well, I just want to get through his dodge round before I start reaching out and trying to hit him with magic, which has a higher
technically,
chance.
you made that attack roll with disadvantage, but I didn't tell you to roll the second time.
Oh, I
because
thought he
that's
just
the
gave him
dodges.
extra
That's the
armor.
dodges, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it doesn't matter. Because you missed anyways, which I assumed you would because you're a thump.
Oh,
And
thanks.
so now it is this guy's turn. Oh man! So he goes rushing at Gromit. Gromit swings and it's a big miss. And now it is his turn. He is actually going to make Maggie. You're actually very familiar with this tactic. He's just like ah, and he's going to make a reckless attack against you with his great axe. So that being said, he attacks at Robin, and I get to make 2 attack rolls. And one of those 2 attack rolls does beat the 19 AC. He does, in fact, hit you, Gromit, dealing plus.
Wow.
Oh, I
Jesus.
rolled near maximum damage. 13 points of damage. Now, because you're raged, of course, that 13 is actually a 6. And because Otto likes to talk your ear off, he gave you 7 temporary HP. So you still technically have 1 temp HP left. You didn't take any damage. So he does this huge swinging blow, and the attack nearly misses you. You just remembering those emboldening words that Otto had given you, and you kind of dodge out of the way. It does clip you ever so slightly, but just your sheer manliness is able to stave off the wound.
That's
entirely.
okay, because I get advantage on the next roll against him.
That might be a thing.
Yeah.
That might be a thing. Hey, whose turn's next? It looks like it's the leader's turn again.
Here we go. Let's do it.
No, it's the leader's turn. It's his turn.
That's what I said. It's his turn. Yeah.
It's his turn. Yeah, it's not Gromin's turn or nothing. No.
Oh, Gromit, swing. Kill him.
Yeah, no, it's totally my turn. Gromit looks at him because he took no damage, but he realizes that was a pretty epic swing that he just put in. He's like, "You have to try harder," and he goes in for another hit.
You hit. There's no way you don't.
God. Oh.
Plus,
Yeah, that-
plus it's a 1d4 on top of that, right?
Oh, you
Yeah,
hit.
so,
There's
so
fucking
you can roll it for funsies just to see if you double my
Okay,
AC.
yeah. We'll roll 1d4.
Yeah, you double my AC. You more than double my AC, okay? So yeah, you hit. No problem. You got it. 16 points of damage. That's a big ouchie. Thank you very much for your 16 points. All right, so
Yeah. Okay.
that is your turn, and now it is the leader's turn.
All right, here we
So
go.
the leader, seeing you rush forward and
It's
feebly
actually-
stab with your spear.
2 more than that, right? It's 18.
Oh, you're right, Maggie. Thank you. Good call. Thank you.
No problem.
Usually I remember that, but I forgot this time. 18 points of damage, and Mathis. So he, holding his long sword in his hand, he looks at you as you stab feebly at him, missing, and he says, "You do that spear disjustice. I will give it the honor it deserves." And then he swings at you twice with his long sword.
Miss.
Oh, I'm
at least
sure.
one.
He's
Just at
gonna
least
miss it.
one.
He's gonna miss a ton, of course. What's my plus chance to hit?
I just need-
Oh, there it is. It's not small. It's okay.
Screw you, Scott.
And my second attack against you.
16 to hit.
All right, so if your AC was still a 14, it would have hit. By the glory of Luthic, the first attack misses.
Second attack hits.
The second attack, however, does hit you,
Okay.
and it is going to do.
We have no temp HP, right?
You had 7 given to you by
Okay,
your
cool.
chatty little
Boom.
friend. So you take 1 point of slashing damage in its entirety from his second swing, as the first one narrowly misses you. Once again, due to the prayers of Luthik herself, the cave mother, giving you a bit of a whisper to make you so you can get out of the way in time. And then the second swing back does hit you, but because once again of Otto's words and giving you like a bit of emboldening, it barely grazes you for only 1 point of damage. Not even a scratch through the flesh, just a cut of the armor.
All right.
Thank you, Otto, for your stories.
I know, right? Thank you for your amazing stories, Otto.
Y'all thought you were sick of that one. Now you know the value, huh?
Ramen wasn't. He was all about it, man.
Yeah.
It is Thunk's turn.
All right, I'm gonna reach out with him after he like swings and barely nicks me, taking the opportunity to hopefully grab onto his arm as he's lunged in. Cast a spell.
The two of you, by the way, you can see where your place is in initiative. If you choose to act during any round, you just let me know.
All right, here we go.
And by the way, you both have the same initiative, so whoever wants to act first, you can take the first of the 2 initiatives. I don't care. All right,
So 18 to hit.
Oh, you actually hit him.
Okay, good.
Alrighty.
Roll. Here we go.
Oh, you won't get no, you cast inflict wounds. I just realized you cast inflict wounds, even though you said it beforehand. It didn't process. I just realized. Oh, damn it.
As a 3rd level spell, mind you.
Oh, fuck.
Touch
man,
him.
So...
Touch his booty. He has a fiery butthole now. Like literally his butthole.
This is what I can. This is like if I can hit. So as he reaches in and lunges, and he barely nicks me, seeing the opportunity, leaving his forearm open of all things, my hand glows red, and I just grab him, and like locking eyes, I start draining the life force from him.
Oh, God.
It's pretty sick.
5d10.
That's
Yes, sir.
so much damage. Holy shit.
You only hit for like half of the potential.
When you grab him and you have this wave of just energy take over his body, and you can see just bits of his life being sapped away, his skin even growing a bit gray, exactly where it was that you had your hands grabbing onto it. All of his body growing a bit slack from just the strength being pulled from him. You can see his resolve very quickly being pulled from him, just in a single attack that did that much damage. He insulted your workmanship with your spear, like your fighting ability. However, he had earlier questioned your loyalty to your god and called you a blasphemer, and I think at this point he's second guessing that decision. However, he's not quite out of the fight
not
yet.
yet.
He's still standing there and just questioning that resolve, as I had said. He's not immune to fear like you are at the moment. All right,
It's my turn now, right?
If you choose to, yes.
Okay, Otto sees this happen, and he recognizes the loss of courageousness in the face of the leader, and he decides to capitalize and immediately cast Dissonant Whispers.
Keep in mind
And
if
you doing this in the open?
keep in mind if you do that, you're going to incur the wrath of all the minions.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what I should do? Instead, what if I do this? I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force on the leader, and it's going to be a projection of what can only be perceived as an orc's idea of what Grumsh looks like. So I'm going to cast this Phantasmal Force, and it's going to erupt out from Thonk as, you know, the entire inflict wounds process.
That's sick.
As a giant one-eyed orc giant.
Yeah,
Just like
I want
in his
Grumsh to, like,
face.
erupt
Oh.
from Thonk and like envelop this leader and just completely intimidate him.
Just keep in
That
mind.
sounds wonderful, but as Math is probably going to tell you, that spell has other components than just verbal. So it is possible that they will pick up on the fact that you're casting.
You'll
a
have to
spell and
you'll have to step
retaliation
out
will
in
happen.
front of everybody to do it, and everybody's gonna see you casting magic.
Yeah, because it's not like you were invisible and like you pop it out of invisibility
Even
after
if
the
I'm back
casting of the
there,
spell.
like behind the wall and stuff.
You probably need line of sight.
You need line of effect. Yeah.
Line of effect.
Man,
It was one of those things where if there was a hole in the rock wall enough that you can see through and get him, but people couldn't necessarily see you. Sure, yeah, no problem. But you're not invisible and whatnot, so it is very possible that they will notice.
So I probably can't I just should rule out magic.
Can't he do it from this angle? Like this angle, and only that guy will see him? Because all of the minions are down.
Well, no, there's a
I
minion
have a
on the
question.
corner right here.
Don't forget, there's 3 right here, Maggie. They're just hard to see because they're yellow.
I have a
Oh,
question.
yeah, I can't
You know,
do
I'll
that.
choose a different color and go ahead, Sam.
How tall is Addo?
Like
something?
3 foot something.
Okay, so if I casted a 5-foot cube minor illusion of no one being in the doorway to the camp, he could then stand behind it and cast a spell.
So more or less like you took a picture of what a camera sees and dropped it in front of the camera, so the camera only sees that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Like a spy movie.
So
or
would
whatever.
Otto-
It has to be
Oh
like
my
a
gosh,
illusion of an
yes.
object, right? So maybe it could be the gate.
Okay, so Otto needs to give you the idea of doing this. So I want to see that RP'd. Otto, how do you inspire Rye to cover your ass?
Okay, so Rye is where? Okay, so we're both in the campsite here. All right, so I'm watching Thonk fight the leader, and I think Rye and I would probably both notice the loss of spirit in his face, probably around the same time. So when we see that, I'm gonna look over to Rye. I'm gonna think about it for a second because like the wheels are starting to turn on Otto's head. Can you Can you hide me from them?
Rai looks around for any kind of object in the camp that's visible, and do I see anything that's like big enough to hide Addo that I could replicate? Scott?
I'm sorry. There's a whole bunch of rocks. Like the whole terrain where you are right now, it's not like it's an even plateau or anything like that. There's a bunch of rocks and stuff like that around him.
All right,
so
cool.
you easily could like have some rocks in his way or whatever, and you can
Yeah.
get that.
All right. Yeah. So like Rai just kind of like nods, and you see her just like dash towards the entrance, and she starts to like conjure up like a pile of rubble that's around 4 foot high, just in the entrance to the camp.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Otto sees it 3 steps ahead, begins to go right up toward the rubble.
Yep. Awesome.
And,
so now Otto can literally step somewhat behind, somewhat actually in the rubble itself, because you know it to be an illusion, so you don't have to worry about that, because, Rai told you, oh, it's just an illusion. And so you're going to do that, and you're going to use the cover of the rubble to cast your spell. Now, once again, you had summoned, was it so that he sees Thonk himself as being that, or he sees it behind Thonk?
It's similar to the way that we did it with Grommen and the Yeti. So you know how we had the giant eagle coming up behind him, something similar to that.
Okay. And just to make sure I get all the details, was it to be an actual, like a form of an actual person that had the form of Grumsh, or was it to be kind of like the Eye of Sauron, like above the tower, like just the big burning eye behind him, sort of a thing?
Yeah, get along those lines. I want it to be a little bit of a mind fuck for him. I want him to see that thing, and I want him to like kind of be confused himself about what he's seeing. I want him to.
It's like Groomsh is emanating through him. Oh shit!
And then like maybe even have a little bit of psychological breakdown about, oh my god, am I actually worshiping Grumsh, or has this been the will of this evil god the whole time? You know, like kind of stuff like that.
Awesome, sounds great.
That's good. Good teamwork, gents.
Would you like to tell me your DC? I believe it's a 13.
Grumsh, I've come to
I
bargain.
think it's a 13. No,
See,
it's a 13, I believe. Yeah, because you have a 16 charisma, so it's a 13. Okay. So you do that, you cast that spell, and all of a sudden, so you're not aware of what's going on. Oh, actually, no, Thonk, you have a really high passive perception. So all of a sudden, you notice some rocks forming up behind you, and you see that there's like some rocks that weren't there before. You're kind of like fighting and dodging. You grab his arm, you look back, and you're like, huh. There's rocks there that weren't there before. And you're just so perceptive, you would notice that nuanced difference. Could you roll me a stealthy check, please, Otto?
Yeah.
With advantage, because he's hidden.
With advantage, because he's behind rocks and there's magic and whatnot.
Yeah, dog.
I'm there for you, boo.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Nailed it.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
Thonk, roll me your perception. I'm not even rolling anybody else's.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to see
You
this.
nailed it.
I don't
Nobody
see
else
it.
even has a +3. Okay. So you don't notice that Otto is going there. So all of a sudden you do this, you grab this guy's arm, you grab onto it, and this is the turns immediately after you.
Yeah.
So you grab this guy's arm and you do it, and you can see like his resolve and whatnot fading away. But he still looks up at you, and there's clearly still some fight left in this man. And he gets all white knuckled on his sword, but then all of a sudden he looks kind of past you, and his eyes widen, and he's looking up at what's above you, and he's just like and he immediately falls down to his knees. Immediately falls down to his knees and throws the sword down beforehand. And he starts saying prayers to Grumsh like,
Oh, wow.
sorry. And he's just in his orc, he's just kind of
Yeah. Beautiful.
just
That's
under his
genius.
breath muttering prayers to Grumsh. and just so sorry that he would dare to strike against what is before him. You know what I mean? At one point in time, he does look up and he sees the image behind you, sees the sigil on your chest, and like just goes back down and just doubles down the ferocity in which he's praying.
Oh,
Like,
my
the
God.
best bit is no one else can see it.
No.
Nobody else can see it. No. So
They all just think he's going fucking crazy. He's just worshiping the thing he was trying to kill.
tossing a sideways glance at what the fuck is going on over there, like, what the hell's the matter with this guy? The orc in front of Grobin is like, well, I'm just gonna keep this going, and he's just like, ah!
I was
And
gonna
he
say,
swings and
two
and
barbarians
attacks
going
Grobin
at
again.
it, just not gonna stop until one of them falls over.
It sounds about right. All right, so I
Well, if you're
get
both enraged, then yeah.
once again reckless, like, wow, I rolled a natural 20 twice in a row.
Oh no!
What?
I rolled with advantage, got natty 20 twice in a row. That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing. I'm gonna screenshot that. Oh yeah, there we go.
Wait, I mean you crit?
Yeah, that means I crit absolutely. And when you're a half,
I'm
when you're an
dead.
orc and you crit, you
Rip.
actually, I get to roll 3d12.
No,
Yeah.
because as an orc, when you go to 0, you don't go to 0. You stay up at 1 for.
Yep.
So you're enraged.
I am enraged.
And she said, "Oh,
Oh,
what?
wow.
That's so shitty. That's so shitty. That's like the worst I could possibly have done." What did I actually roll? I rolled 2 10s and a 1, so that's not the worst in the world. But it's still not the best. I was hoping for so much. I wanted like 30. I wanted to crest 30.
So like
All right.
11 damage.
So it is, let's see, 12 minus 1, as you had said, because you still have 1 teeny bit of inspiration from Otto. You take 11 damage. What could have been,
Could have been a one-shot kill.
36 damage.
Yeah.
oh god. So I was, it's so not going my way. I was like, you know what? I'm really trying to kill Thonk for chat. They're just begging for Thonk to die.
Not all
I
of
just
them.
want to do it, but no,
Sam.
his friends have become in stealthy aiding
Sam,
him.
shut
And then
your
I'm like,
mouth.
you know what? At least I could give him. I gave him a blood sacrifice of Grommen, and then I rolled garbage for damage. Okay, Grommen, you get to return the favor with advantage.
That's right. Here we go. All right.
Yeah, you
That's a
hit.
beautiful
There he
attack roll.
And not as much
13.
damage.
13 damage. Okay. I take my 13. He is in fact still standing, so he takes the hit. Grrr! And he's, still got a lot of fight left in him. So it's now the
You
leader's
bout
turn.
too.
The leader does
that-
nothing, I'm assuming.
The leader on his turn, he continues praying ferociously and whatnot, and he looks around at the others and how they're not doing so, and they're looking at him like he's crazy. And he calls out, he's like, "Can you not see? It is Grumsh standing before us. You must show your respect. Kneel!" And he starts like giving like heavy commands, like "Get down!" to everybody. And they're all kind of like looking confused and everything. And he's looking at them like really upset. So he actually stands up from his prayer and turns over and thrusts his sword straight through the head of the guy that's immediately next to him. And it just instantly kills the orc that's to his side. And just seeing his prowess, you guys can see this guy is no schmuck. You know what I mean? This guy is clearly a warrior that does Grumsh proud. And so he immediately thrusts that sword forward and just kills that guy, pulls the sword down, he's like, "No!" and turns back over and drops his attention back to the ground and praying and trying to give forgiveness to Grumsh for attacking one of his vessels.
Oh yeah. I
Now
like
it's Thunk's
that.
turn.
Damn.
Well, out of curiosity, because two of the grunts do go before me. Do they like kneel or do they just stand like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
My apologies. They are continuing to be like, "What the fuck is this guy
Okay,
doing?"
cool. That's all I
They're
need
kind of
to
like
know.
lowering their guard and kind of like looking and doing one of those like slowly starting to lower the grounds. Like they're not entirely convinced that that's what they should be doing. But because one of their leaders, though the lesser of the leaders, is still fighting. And their actual leader just killed one of the people telling them to kneel. And they have no idea what's going on. So they're just kind of dumb orcs that are like, "Meh."
I'll reach out and I'll like put my hand around the leader's throat and I'll look around the minions and say, you command no respect from your men, and you do not deserve to lead them." And I'll just go to kill him with another inflict wounds on him.
Okay, well, you Mathis, you do not have to roll to hit.
That's what I was
However, to crit with it, you just need to beat his AC with your attack roll.
All right, I'll roll. I'll see if I can beat it.
It's just kind of like a roll to confirm.
I didn't expect that you were gonna give me a crit chance, so.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hit. I crit.
Oh my God! You actually crit. So it's without even rolling the extra d4. Okay. So
what?
just roll your damage twice.
So can I just? I'll just do this.
I think
Do
you
you
can
not
just
have
do
your
it twice.
Are you gonna roll 10d10?
I was going to say you don't have your damage linked, but okay.
Well, because
Holy shit, son.
So-
You just blow him up.
so yeah, like I said, my hand just grips
He
around his
explodes
throat.
and just blood splatters everywhere.
I just put my hand around his throat again, shouting at them that they do not show him respect, and as receiving no respect, he does not deserve to lead. And you just watch as my mark glows a bright red, feeds into my hand, and saps every last bit of life out of him as his eyes roll back. His body goes limp, and I'll like throw him forward as his body hits the floor. And I'll turn to his men and say, "I lead you now, and you will kneel."
They do.
That is crazy. Holy shit.
They do,
dude.
except for the guy who is standing there raging. So Otto and Rye, you do technically have your turn first. But the guy who's raging, you can tell no fight was taken from him. He's not even really aware of what's going on over there. He's foaming at the mouth and attacking at Grumman. So Otto and Rye, do you choose to do anything, or do the two of you just kind of like and watch?
Oh, I'm happy now. I think I'm satisfied with my input.
I think Rye like walks up, so she's in the entrance next to Otto, and they're both still hidden.
Mhm.
But she doesn't do anything. They're just watching.
I look over to Ryan. I say, "That went really well."
I don't even know what happened, but it's so good. I'll actually look over to Grommen, and all I'll say out loud is, "Do Grummish proud, Grommen," and let the fight continue. I want to see Grommen kill this guy.
So there is, and while Thonk probably hears it, he's kind of distracted. He's like, and he's distracted, so he doesn't really notice what's going on. Grommen is raged, and so clearly not aware of what's going on. However, Otto and Rye, you guys hear the screeching of the eagle from behind you, giving off like where it's flying around overhead. It's giving off loud screeches. Could the both of you please roll me a perception check? And
Who?
then we're gonna have that guy attack Grommen.
Yeah, I left him there as an alarm.
The humans are probably fucking coming.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So,
Baby.
Ramen, I'm going to attack you, and once again, he is going to attack you with reckless abandon. All right. Crit. All right, one attack. Well, that's a 19, so it definitely hits, but and a 17 that would hit if you didn't have magic on you. So I hit you with my advantage, and I'm going to do my damage. You take 7 points of damage since you have no more magic protecting you, but you do still rage, and you just another big heavy swing, and he swings the axe forward. You bring your axe to try to stop it, but there's so much force behind it, it still gets thrown into you and leaves a cut inside your side, in your shoulder. As you try to block it, but are not able to do so. Grommen, is your turn.
All right, here we go.
That is in fact a hit. Yes, ma'am.
All right. I did
Another
a lot of damage, but
10 more points of damage. Okay. Everybody else kneels down. Actually, there's a fun little icon I could put on them for that, I believe. Remembering the icons. Look at that. It's because they're beaten down. They're beaten down. Those arrows are the stinging words of Thunk. See that little icon there to say that they're all on their knees. All right. So after that being said, Otto, you happen to notice that from behind you guys, and actually further up the mountain itself, there are shapes moving and moving very quickly down the mountainside into the camp area where you guys are. This is Otto specifically who noticed it, who's kind of like happy with himself and what was going on, but maybe a little less interested in the happenings over there. Rye, who's watching with disdain as orcs be orcs. And you kind of like looking back and like nudging towards Rye, and then you see like, oh shit, there's movement over there. There's something coming. So that's what you're able to notice. Let's flash forward to Thunk's turn. Thunk, you're not aware of that at all. What do you do with this guy whose body you just slaughtered and tossed to the side as you just, and dead people, everybody else kneeling around you? What do you do?
I look around and I wait for Grommen to finish the fight. Like I just stand and wait.
Okay. And so you just kind of like allowing the orcs to play it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And so that is going to be Otto. It's your turn to ride. It's your turn. Who don't really care. Otto notices something. You're welcome to say something if Rye chooses to go first, but you still welcome to say something.
I'll definitely mention to Rye. I think there's the humans over there. Points out the movement along the mountain.
Go ahead. Rye.
Oh, is it my turn?
Well, it's both of you guys. Whoever wants to go first, I don't care.
Okay, well, Rye turns to observe where Otto's pointing, and then immediately turns to look at Thunk. And to the outward person, nothing happens, but Thunk immediately hears Rye's voice in his head, and she says, "Thunk, they're coming."
All right. I'll just check, because speaking's a free action, right?
Well, he's not actually speaking.
I'm using the spell
If
message.
I wanted to speak, if I wanted to say something.
More than that, he's actually whispering, so you hear like a whisper in your ear,
Yeah,
or whatever it is, but you're able to whisper back immediately.
I'll just say understood, because I know what I want to do now that I know.
Okay. Otto, what do you choose to do in your turn?
I can probably reveal myself at this point, right? Because we've kind of just established dominance over these people.
It's up to you if you think that would have a positive, negative, or null effect.
What do you think, Mathis?
I think it's fine at this point.
Yeah?
Well, we have an enraged man in front of us. Just be wary of him, I guess. Other than that,
I'm thinking I'm gonna go out and either do heroism on Grommen, which I don't know, maybe I should avoid.
yeah, I wouldn't buff Grommen necessarily. I would just be prepared, because if we're about to fight, just get ready for
Like-
fighting.
Yeah, I should probably hang out.
Definitely buff me when we get into the next.
Yeah,
fight.
the next
yeah.
fight. But this one, I don't want to. Basically what I would say is, like, don't risk the minions turning on us when we have them at our.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think what Mathis is probably going to do is try to get them to fight with
Yeah.
us, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's my next step,
Oh,
is to
yeah,
command
okay,
them
okay.
to turn and defend.
Great, sure. So I'll probably just hang out then. I think I'll just sort of think better of revealing our position at this point and just sort of hang back.
Okay, awesome. So you do exactly that. But you're staying in your area because it's still hidden and protected,
Yeah,
right?
staying in the little
exactly.
rock.
No,
You're in a
that's
you're in a
perfectly
great
fine.
you're in a great spot for
Yeah,
casting.
you're exactly that. A great spot. You're safe. So that brings us to this guy's turn, and this guy is going to attack at Grommet again, using the same exact tactic, of course, because orcs, they're not exactly.
Why do we have a secret Otto hanging out over
creative.
here?
What are you talking about?
Another Otto. He was over here in the darkness. I found him. See him?
Oh, that's
Oh,
my
I was
That's the
used-
leader of the
Secret Otto hanging in the shadows. I
using
just saw
that
him.
Otto for doing my
Well,
DM
Otto.
tests. That's funny.
His evil twin. The plot twist.
Fancy meeting you
His
here.
name's Oda.
Oh, that's great.
His name is Oda.
Yeah.
When I was walking around, I like to use Otto when I walk around my maps to see what it looks like from the player's perspective, so I can go, "Oh fuck, I really have to fix his vision." And so starting to sit.
I can't see shit right now,
dude.
dude.
I know. 'Cause you're not using the lantern anymore. You're in combat.
Yeah, I
right?
have no vision at all. I can see like a little dim circle around my character.
Here, we'll say Otto has the lantern with him, and so hold on. That's bam and bam and bam and what?
No,
Whoa!
whoa! Everything's so bright.
You
Magic.
see everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything.
There we go. Now it's all clear.
Okay, so that was his attack against Grommen. Grommen, I attacked against you with advantage, and sadly, my higher roll was an 11.
All right, smack him down, Grommen.
All right, let's do it. You did reckless attack on me?
I did. I recklessly
You did?
attacked.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, you hit.
Man.
Wow.
You're hitting hard. Well,
Mhm.
If only Grommen always had advantage.
Yeah.
Wow, you're actually hitting Wimpy. That was last two attacks were 10.
Shouldn't you also be using reckless? Because if you're advantaged, then it negates the disadvantage, and then you get to do extra damage.
So it's
It's like
Yes,
he's getting
the answer's
advantage
yes.
anyways.
it's not really worth it in this situation. Like the better option is for me to like take the advantage. Actually, what I should do is I should just
You rolled like 25, 26, and then 26, 21, so it definitely would have been worth it.
what I should not really. What I should do is keep the advantage and do great weapon mastery. But my worry is I don't know what his AC is. I think it's 18.
I think it's
His
16.
AC is pretty high.
You've hit him with a 16. That's the lowest that you've hit him with.
Oh, I thought 18
when you,
was the lowest.
When you rolled a 28, I told you that you more than doubled me. I'm just giving you
Okay.
reminders.
Yeah, then
Um,
I probably could have used great weapon mastery. Yeah.
I just want to see you chop his head off. That's all.
Yeah.
same.
Okay. And
So it
now
goes to me?
it's, I can actually just eliminate this guy from the
Yeah.
initiative. No, it doesn't quite go to you yet. All of a sudden, with that happening, finally something coming into view. You guys see that there are a couple of other orcs that come into view over here.
Where is over
these
here?
orcs, I'm going to pull your attention to it in a second.
Oh, up top?
Yep. Come into view over here. These orcs are smaller. So this is what Otto and Rye sees. These orcs are smaller, kind of hunched forward, have some slight, you're not sure if maybe they would have been deformities or just so many injuries that they look slightly deformed. They are wearing, their clothing and whatnot seems to be red and brown. On closer inspection, after staring at it for a moment, you realize the reason why it's reddish and brownish is because it's been seeped in blood. Each one of them are holding smaller weapons, whether it be short swords or daggers or whatnot, and they're moving at you with incredible swiftness. They actually, the amount of speed that it took for them to get from where they were down to this spot is was blindingly fast. So that's what they were able to do before Thonk's turn, was able to get there. And could the two of you please really quickly roll me a perception check, and then we're going to do Thonk's turn.
Who's the two of you?
Not you. And not Grauman.
Okay, Ryan Otto.
But I think they knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much for your perception checks. Thonk, it's your turn.
Did you say I noticed them?
No, you don't notice anything. You are extremely perceptive, but you're on the other side of a wall and surrounded by people that you just scared and watching two barbarians scream at each other.
So when you said they're coming,
spittle that's like crossfire hitting each other and dropping.
Yeah, I'm curious. So Rye said they're coming. What does that tell me then? Nothing, basically. Great. Okay. Cool. So as far as I know, we're fine.
No, roll me an insight check.
All right. Insight. 18.
So he says they're coming. You look around very quickly to what you can see over in this region over here, and you see nothing coming your way. So you immediately realize that he's not talking about down south. And both of their attention, looking back up there, you said their attention is kind of turned back that way. And
okay, so I realize it's coming from behind. Gotcha.
Yep.
So
I'll get into one of her positions.
I put my basically my foot on the dead leader's chest, and I just shout to them, "Off your knees and defend us! Into the building! They come from the north."
So you say that, and that will be your turn. Well, make me I suppose, intimidation check.
Oh, they kneel, but god damn it! All right. Intimidation is not. Well, that's all right.
Anything having to do with words is not your.
No, I'm trained in it. They're get +3. Like I have.
You still have inspiration, Mathis?
I used it, but 15's 15.
They're going to listen to your command when it is their turn. All right, so.
Good.
You, sir.
Who was you, sir?
Otto. No, Rye.
Oh, sorry.
Rye. No, Rye.
Sam.
It's Rye.
It's
Sam.
Sir being Sam. I'm sorry.
Good, yeah.
I'm sorry. There's so many sirs. I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna let Addo act first because we're tied.
Okay, that's fine.
I would just get out of the doorway, Rye, because people are going to be coming through.
Yeah, I'm going to move back now for sure because it looks like we're all going to be piling through the gateway here.
Rye, when you go to cast your spell that usually doesn't work out the way you want it to, don't forget you get to add a d4 to your attack rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to. I feel like I've got something else, just like sort of a little passive thing that I keep forgetting. I know I've got the loot, I've got the idle skill, I've got the spells. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting about? It's just like as far as prepping for the oncoming stuff. I guess I could prep my dagger. I haven't done that yet.
You can prep your dagger, but you can also don't forget you can use your bonus action to give your friends like an aid.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. The
give them
bardic
that D6.
inspiration.
Yeah, the bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I might want to. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bardic inspiration Grauman's way, so he can hopefully finish off this guy faster, and then I'll go back behind the gate and prepare my dagger of venom.
Okay.
And that just gives me advantage.
D6. Yep.
A D6.
Yeah.
It's bardic advantage, but it's just a D6. So
that's the
especially if you're going to be taking that -5 for you to do a big chunk, that's really going to help you out.
Yeah.
Okay. After Otto's turn, Rye's turn. So right, you see Otto says a couple of quippy words to Grauman to kind of like let's finish this, we got problems, sort of a thing, and then quickly runs around pulling out the dagger and doing some sort of ritual that you've seen him do before as ooze starts to cook the dagger.
Okay, so what do I see when I look towards the tent on the right? Can I just see the tent? Are they all inside it?
They're all inside the tent. The only reason why I left this one out here is to represent the fact that there is still a cooking pot that's shedding light. But all 6 of the ladies and the baby are all still inside the tent, and they're all like surrounding the inside of it, though you can't see that. You just know what they were doing.
Okay, so they're like
To
hidden
protect
from
it.
view.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember the tent is slightly transparent, but only slightly if they are pretty close to see through it.
All right. Yeah, I was just wondering if I had to like maybe protect them or something, but I'm assuming that we're the focal point right now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I guess like these guys are coming for our asses, right? They don't look cooperative.
They are coming down. They run down the mountain. They look over at the tent like they're moving towards it. They see you guys. They're looking at the tent. They see you guys. And then immediately you see this one right here. Looks like it's starting to move towards the tent. And the other 3 are starting to move towards the 2 of you.
Okay. Ryan immediately steps forward and throws an Eldritch Blast at the one who tries to make for the tent.
Okay.
Whoa!
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That's so good.
Oh, roll your damage, sir. Wow. That is, I mean, that second roll, not so, but that is really good. Wow. 17. Ouch. So still standing, but really, really messed up from that attack. You were able to do a second blast?
Wait, do I double it?
That was doubled.
It wasn't.
If you look at it's the 14 plus the 3. The 3 is the crit.
Oh, the 3 is the second one. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
3.
you can
No.
hover over. You
Oh,
can
Oh,
hover
plus
over
3 is the
and see it
charisma
roll.
mod.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
You get to make
yeah.
your second attack roll.
I get 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Eldritch Blast. I'm sorry. I was thinking it was
Scorching Ray.
it was Scorching Ray. My apologies.
Oh yeah, I would like to like knock him backwards 10 feet though.
Absolutely, and you do exactly that. So sadly, you can't see it because that's the edge of the map right there. But he does in fact get knocked backwards 10 feet, and I'll just use. He got ninja'd. All right, so he got thrown backwards 10 feet from you doing that attack, and they can clearly see. All 4 of them can clearly see that you are there to protect the tent. And as he's kind of like lying on his back and starting to like pull himself up, he's dusting himself off, and his intent is also on you. The 3 of them getting ready to rush at you. We're going to go over to this guy's turn.
Perfect.
He's going to make his reckless attack over at Grommen. We're going to attack at Grommen again. Ready? Boom. And with my advantage, because that was a horrible roll. Boom. I rolled double 8s. So he swings widely and horribly misses Grommen. And as Grommen reels back Grommen's axe, gritting his teeth, prepared to add -5 to the attack roll and +10 to the damage. Why don't we take a break and come right back and see what happens as Maggie brings the axe to bear.
Or
Not
fail.
bear, but
One
you
or
know,
the other.
fail.
Yeah,
Yeah, or fail.
All right, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Or